champion Eagles hosting a joint practice today with the Browns. The two teams play a preseason game Saturday afternoon. Leading up to that, all eyes are on the Browns quarterback situation. Shedeur Sanders started their last preseason game. However, Joe Flacco is listed as QB1 on the depth chart, while Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett have been dealing with injuries. All four quarterbacks were on the field today, but one of their days ended prematurely. Our reporter Sal Paolantonio and NFL analyst Mina Kimes here with us in studio. And Sal, you were at those joint practices. What more can you tell us about Shedeur Sanders and the morning that he had?
Well, here's what we know. I mean, after practice, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, was not available to the media, but I did talk to him on the field as the players were coming off, and he told me that Shedeur Sanders complained of oblique soreness during the warm-ups this morning, and they made a decision to shut him down. They had planned to use him in the joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles today, but they decided to shut him down, make sure that he's okay, so maybe he can come out here tomorrow, Thursday, for the last joint practice and be available for Saturday's preseason game. As a result, what you saw on the field was a lot of Dillon Gabriel, the rookie, and a lot of Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old veteran. And I caught up with Joe Flacco one-on-one after practice, and I asked him, how is Shedeur Sanders handling the ups and the downs and the spotlight of his rookie season? Here's his answer.
Shedeur does a great job with that. I mean, I think he's got I think he's been around it a good amount, so he knows how to handle it and stay even and not really let it affect him. So,
what does this Browns team got to do offensively to be better than they were last year, Joe?
I think we just got to be physical and use that physicality to our advantage. I think anytime you want to be good on offense in this league, it starts with that. It starts with the guys up front and giving them the ability to play fast and play physical.
Play fast, play physical. Translation, this Kevin Stefanski offense is going to be recommitted to running the ball with 40-year-old Joe Flacco, and it looks like he is going to be the week one starter, and Dillon Gabriel will play most of the game on Saturday. Kenny Pickett still remains up in the air with that hamstring injury. So does Shedeur Sanders right now. His status is very much up in the air. They're going to check him out, get him an MRI to see what damage, if any, he did to that oblique during warm-ups, Amina.
Yeah, another turn in the quarterback situation out there in Cleveland. Sal, thanks so much for that insight. Amina, I want to bring you in right here. You heard what Sal Paolantonio just had to say about Shedeur Sanders coming out of practice today. Your reaction to that?
You don't have an overreaction. Sounds like a minor injury, of course, but I will say for a player like Shedeur, who is competing for almost the right to compete, every snap is crucial. Many teams in the NFL treat joint practices as having more importance than preseason games, frankly. The fact that he got to play so much in preseason week one was a huge advantage in his competition with Dillon Gabriel, it seems like, for QB2. It's also an opportunity to learn. You know, one thing I thought watching him play in that first preseason game, he looked accurate, thought he made good decisions, but you also saw him getting used to NFL speed. There were some moments where he was bailing on the pocket like he did in college. He has to learn. He can't do that in the NFL, but the only way he can learn that is by being on the field, so you want him to get back on the field as soon as possible.
The key that you mentioned at the top, not to overreact, so hopefully everyone could just take a back seat, maybe take a little bit of a breath. On the other side, this Eagles offense is stacked. What's your biggest question about the Eagles offense in that unit coming into this season?
Aside from the new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, coming in, that's not really a big concern for me. I would just say some of the injuries that they've had on the interior of the offensive line, Landon Dickerson's status is up in the air, their starting guard, because that is an area where they have one of the very few changes on this offense. Mekhi Becton, who was the starting guard last year, is now in the Chargers. You have likely Tyler Steen coming in his place. So anytime you have a lot of change in one specific area, it starts to add up. Like, right, the Landon Dickerson injury wouldn't concern me as much if not for the fact they're also replacing another player on the interior, and that has been such a strength for this Eagles offense, the offensive line and the interior, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it all shakes out. The Eagles open their season 3 weeks from tomorrow again.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing better. Great Wi-Fi today. Feeling good.
Yeah, well, not only great Wi-Fi today, you've had a great morning. Hey, you have crushed this morning, and how good does it feel? Back in there in New York, we're mingling. We're at Jets-Giants training camp. We're down in New York City at the ABC News studios down there for us. Now we're in our basement here doing the entire conference. It feels like we're all the way back in the football season, Trace. Is that how you're feeling?
It absolutely does. And I'll tell you, just getting one day yesterday, just boots on the ground, seeing the Jets and Giants hit, you smell it. It's good. Like, we're back. And I know it's a few weeks away, but these inner camp practices that are going on all week, whether it be Philly taking on the Browns, whether it be the Colts and what they're doing with the Packers, whoever's playing right now.
Of course.
I have heard from so many coaches, this is better than the preseason. These practices, the ones versus ones in front of the fans, this is the stuff where you're actually hitting and you're encouraging them to, and it's a test of strength. Like, I'll tell you, Pat, I get excited. It's early, but like, the Jets' strength of their team is the offensive line. They have all these first-round picks. The Giants' strength of their team is their defensive line. They were hitting the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go.
We like to see the boys hitting
Yeah.
out there in New York. You are Giants faithful or Jets? I don't remember. Giants, right?
I grew up a Giants fan, but I am impartial now, my friend. I like all 32 teams, and we like to talk
Oh, yeah,
about
of course you do. Yeah, shaking hands. Not a human in there. No, you can't have any rooting interest in it all. Okay, so let's go to the complete opposite side of the country. And this is where I want to start with you, strictly because I know how close you are to the entire situation. We all do. Matthew Stafford in this immortal portal. And then him missing things where they're saying he's going to be him being in street clothes. And then obviously this lingering as long as it has. Once again, we're still 3 weeks and a day from kickoff on a Thursday night in Philadelphia. There's still a lot of time for a lot of things to happen. This seemingly lingering longer than any of us could have imagined. But the messaging is if there was to be a game tomorrow, he would play. What is the situation with Matthew Stafford as you know it? And how does Coach McVay feel going into the season about it all?
He's 37 years old, so there's nothing he's going to learn in this training camp that he hasn't done, right? He's going to do it. There's Monday, obviously he doesn't. The thing I'm hearing is this. They're being ultra cautious. And that Matthew, if it was up to him, would probably be out there. But they are not risking anything. He's had some pain. They're just going to let him. We might think on paper it all is, and as amazing as he was in the June and May months, we'd like to see it in August just for our comfort from the outside looking in. I don't get the sense that they're concerned about week one. I do get the sense that they were happy with how the offense looked with Jimmy Garoppolo, if just in case they had to go that way. Everyone I spoke to from
same class, this is my life. He's still doing the football. Go ahead, AJ.
Shregs, is there a possibility that Stafford wants to get out and he feels like he can practice and the Rams are just being very protective of him? They're trying to look out for his longevity. I know that's the thing. People think, how's this guy supposed to play 18, 20 games hopefully this year?
Yeah, look, he hasn't said it outwards and the Rams haven't told me that, but the fact that he was throwing on Saturday and had a session where he threw the ball 60 times, just knowing Matthew, I think he would play if it was up to him. And he's being ultra cautious, but I'm sure that the trainer...
Camera, and then it's against Eagles.
Yeah.
And he throws slant inside, touchdown. This is deep play. Was it championship?
That was the divisional round.
Divisional round.
Snow.
Yeah, that's playoff game. Very important. Just
don't forget what Stafford did last year, and if they're all healthy this year,
we don't need to do this, Shregs. You're hosting in First Take. You're hosting, and you're already doing it. You're already starting to just pin one against the other. Okay, obviously different situations. With that being said, here's what Peyton Manning had to say about Jalen